Hey everyone, it's Robin the Delta Crafter, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how I get amazing results using hot foil plates in my Glimmer machine. Let's go! So we're going to get started with talking about why I chose the hot foil machine that I chose. This is the Glimmer Hot Foil Machine. This is from Spellbinders. And the reason why I chose this Glimmer machine is because I have the Platinum Spellbinders embossing platform. So it's the big one. This big daddy right here. So this Glimmer machine works with all of the Spellbinders embossing platforms, embossing machines. So it just made sense for me to get the Glimmer machine as opposed to some of the other machines that are on the market, because this is going to work seamlessly, and it does work seamlessly with my embossing machine. So let me move this big thing out of the way because it takes up a lot of space. So if you have another embossing machine, then you just want to check and make sure that whatever hot foil machine you purchase works with the embossing machine that you have. Like I said before, there's several several of them out there on the market, hot foil systems. And so you want to just make sure that the one you have is going to work, the one you purchase is going to work with the embossing machine that you need, that you have. Because the hot foil system applies the heat, the embossing machine applies the pressure. And you need those two things together in order to get your hot foiling to work. So now that we've kind of talked about why I chose the Glimmer machine, let's talk about the Glimmer machine itself. So there's a power switch on the back here. You saw the little light come on. And you have to, when you first turn the machine on, you have to give it a little bit of time to heat up. And when you see this second light, this is a green light, it says platform ready. When you see that light up, you know that your platform is ready to go and it's heated up. There are a couple of things that come in the box with your Glimmer machine. There's going to be a cooling pad. There's going to be a set of tweezers that actually have a magnet in them. Can you see that? That has a magnet in them that will allow you to pick up the hot plates from the hot foil machine and lay them here to cool off. And then you'll get a couple of like basic dies to begin with. I think this was in there, as well as one that said happy birthday. You'll also get a roll of, a small roll of starter foil. So I think that one was in there, or it's either this champagne gold. I'm not sure which one it was, but that was in the beginning, in the start, came along with my kit. So you're going to want to buy additional plates. There's that little happy birthday plate that came in my hot foil. And you're also going to want to buy additional hot foil. So the hot foil comes in several different colors. It comes in some patterns. Rainbow, that's rainbow, and it comes in this like gold with a whole bunch of different iridescence in it. So there are lots of options to choose from for your hot foil machine. This is just a sampling, a small sampling of hot foils, but these are the ones that I have so far. And then, like I said, you're going to want to buy additional plates. So one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video was because there are a lot of companies that are coming out with hot foil plates. I've been seeing them pop up everywhere. I think this is one of the new hot trends for 2022. But the So there's lots of companies out there. There's, of course, Spellbinders make some, and they even have a monthly subscription kit that I was a member of, that you can get a hot foil plate, get the hot foil plate of the month, and it usually coordinates with their other kits. So then it makes a really nice cohesive set each month. So I've gotten this Hex Floral, Mini Slimline Nested Dots. I think that's all I have in here. Then they also just have other random hot foil plates, and I've even found some at Hobby Lobby on discount, on sale. So I picked those up. Then there is Pink Fresh Studio. Now, Pink Fresh Studio was the ones who really changed my mind on wanting to jump into hot foils. They were the ones that sealed the deal for me, because they came out with several different hot foil plates that coordinated with some stamp sets, but then they came out with these sentiment plates as well. And then they have the matching dies that help you cut out the sentiments once you've hot foiled them. And I absolutely love that. So I have the, what is this? The Perfect Sentiments, and then I have the Perfect Sentiments Holidays, and the dies that go with that. One-piece die. Once I had my hot foil machine, Pink Fresh Studio later came out with this solid hot foil plate. And this made me so happy that I had already jumped into the hot foil system, and because when I first got my machine, this was not out yet. And so I noticed that I had tons of hot foil that was being thrown away, but I kept saying, there's got to be a way to use this. I just don't have anything yet. I was not as smart as Heather Hoffman was. She is the one who worked with Pink Fresh Studio and got this plate to be manufactured and created. But this takes your, once you do an initial impression with your hot foil, you'll have some hot foil remaining. This takes that remaining hot foil and turn it into a second creation. I'm going to do a whole separate video on the solid hot foil plate because it deserves it. It deserves its own video. So look for that part 2 to come out next. But today we're going, for the sake of the purpose of demonstration of the video, I'm just going to use a couple of simple hot foil plates to kind of show you my method of how I use my hot foil machine. So if we look over here at the hot foil machine, we see that the machine, the platform ready button is now lit up, and so that means we're ready to go. Okay, so for today's video, I'm going to make a couple of different hot foil examples for you. So we're going to start with this Hex Floral set from Spellbinders. I'm just going to take one of these floral sets, these sets of flowers, off of the backer here, and I'm going to place this on my platform, my Glimmer Hot Foil Machine. This particular Hex Floral shape set comes with a couple of different floral sets. Comes with a sentiment. It comes with a hot foil hexagon. Then it also comes with a die hexagon. So you can hot foil the hexagon, and then you can cut that hexagon out with your with the die that's included. So we're gonna go ahead and do all of that. So what I like to do is when I have my when I choose my die or my hot foil plates that I want to use, I like to give them an opportunity to kind of warm up. So we're going to place that and kind of get that on there like that. I'll place them on my hot foil machine and I'll give them an opportunity to warm up. Just a few seconds rather. So I've chosen to go with this hot pink foil. So I'm going to take the foil and I'm going to kind of estimate about how much I need. And I'm going to cut off some amount that I think should fit what I'm working with today. There's usually a little clear sticker at the end of your foil. I like to keep those because it helps me keep my foil nice and neat when it's in my little bucket of foil. So I like to take that off and reapply that and put it back on my foil, my roll of foil. So now that I have my foil ready, I think I'm actually going to move this a little bit closer so I can do everything all at once. So that's just one of the ways that these handy little tweezers can, you know, be beneficial. So now that everything's on there, I'm going to go ahead and hit my timer. And that's going to be flashing. And then when it stops flashing, when it turns solid, that's when I know that this has warmed up to the specifications of the machine. Okay, so the timer button stopped flashing, which means that the time has elapsed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hot foil. I'm going to lay that over my design, pretty side down, dull side up. I'm going to lay my paper on top of my hot foil plates. And now I'm going to gently unplug the platform from the machine. Then I'm going to take my shim and my spacer pad and place those on top of my foil, my hot foil plate, and my paper. The reason why I do this last is because you can imagine when you pull this loose, if you have everything laying on top of here, when you pull it from the machine, from the heating element, everything can jostle and move around or whatever. And so to help avoid that, I put my plates on last, so that when I put my plates on, they're right in the space that I need them to be. So I'm going to take this over to my embossing machine, and I'll be right back. So I've run my embossing plate through my machine, the whole sandwich, through my embossing machine. Now I'm going to take my shim and my spacer plate off. I'm going to take my hot foils off. And let's peel back. And we have beautiful foiling results. Now, I definitely could have gotten that a little bit straighter, but you see the results that we were able to get by using those steps. Beautiful, beautiful. So this is what you have left. Put a piece of paper on here. This is what you have left after you have foiled. This is where the solid hot foil plate turns this from trash into magic and an additional set of hot foiled items that you can use on cards. But again, check out part 2 of the video for what I do, how I use the hot foil plate, because it is a little bit different. There is a little bit of a learning curve with the hot foil plate, but how I turn this into cards or foiled images. All right, so we've got that. So now I'm going to plug up my platform again, because once the machine doesn't start reheating the platform until I plug it in. So I plug in my platform. The light when it's ready, the light will come on again. Until then, I'm going to take off my hot foil plates off of my platform and allow these to cool. Now, the tweezers here, the magnet is strong, so you may have to, figure out a way to work that, to work the tweezers to make sure that you get everything off. I actually like to use them closed with the magnet exposed, and then I can put them down and then kind of twist the plate off. But you may have to figure out a way that works for you. So now that we're waiting on the platform to get ready, we're going to set up and get ready for our second plate that we're going to do. Okay, so our platform is ready. We know that because the light is green. And now we're going to move on to a different hot foil plate that says "Make Today Count." This one is a little bit more solid than the first plates that we did. So I'm definitely going to put this down and let it heat up well, because the larger the plate is, or the more solid the plate is, the more it needs to heat up. So you can imagine, you know, with the more surface area that you have to cover, the more it needs to heat up. So I'm going to place that on my hot foil machine. I'm going to press the timer and give this 1 cycle to go through and just heat up the plate nice and hot, so that we get great foil transfer first time out. Okay, so our timer has stopped flashing, which means that the whole cycle of heating has gone through, it's cycled through. So now we're gonna do just like we did before. We're gonna put our foil down, we're gonna put our paper, which, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. This is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White in 80-pound weight. That's the paper that I'm using. And as you can see, I'm getting great foil results. There are lots of different papers out there. I think Spellbinders even makes a special glimmer paper. You need to try whatever papers you have to see the results that you're going to be able to achieve. Again, I use Neenah Classic Crest, and it works great for me. I've heard that Hammermill, there's a Hammermill paper that works really well. Neenah Classic Crest is what I have on hand, and it's my go-to paper, my all-purpose paper for my card making. So that's what I'm using. So now, off camera, I went ahead and cut down a beautiful piece of this rose gold foil. We're going to place this pretty side down. So the pretty side is going to touch the plate. And you may be able to see it kind of melted into the plate. I'm going to put my paper down on top of it, and then I'm going to release my platform from the heating element in the machine base. Now I'm going to place both my shim and my spacer pad on top of the paper. I'm going to take this to my embossing machine and die cutting machine. I keep saying embossing. My die cutting machine, and I'll be right back. So I'm back from the die cutting machine. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to take my shim and my spacer pad off. Pick up my paper. Oop, and it separated on its own. And there you can see we got a beautiful result with this rose gold foil paper. Now, you may have heard the term, if you've watched other videos, of overfoiling. So what overfoiling is where you get foil in places that you don't want it to be. So this would be an example of overfoiling. But because of the makeup of this plate, this is not that big of it's not a deal at all. Unless you were using this whole piece, excuse me, as a part of your card, then this overfoiling might be an issue for you. But if you plan to cut this down and maybe pop this up or whatever, then this overfoiling over here might not be an issue. If you get overfoiling somewhere and it is an issue for you, if you have a mono sand eraser, you can sand and erase the overfoiling. It's that simple. So there's a little bit of overfoiling right here. Just run this sand eraser right there, and it comes off. Perfect. So that gives us two examples using the just regular foiling plates for the Spellbinders Glimmer Hot Foil Machine. I hope this video has helped you understand how to use your machine and the kind of the process that I go through when I'm using my machine. If you have any questions, by all means, drop them in the comments below, or you can reach me on Instagram or on my blog, thedeltacrafter.com, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Remember that I'm going to be doing a second video all about the hot foil, the solid hot foil plate, and how we turn this into another creation. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and come back and join me again. Until next time, everybody. Bye-bye.